Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the model 4 voltage and reactive power. So in that here first we have to discuss what is the importance of voltage and reactive power. So the main need of voltage is to maintain the constant voltage in the consumer premises, that is nothing but utility and the consumer equipments. If you consider the characteristics of lamp, if your variation of voltage occurs in the lamp, that efficiency of lamp or lifetime of the lamp will be decreases gradually to 50%. If you are using the load, power load consists of induction motor, the voltage variation may causes the stray operations. Too wide variation of voltage causes the excessive heating of electrical device such as the transformer and other electrical appliances. So here how to generate, the main question is how to generate the reactive power. So the generation of reactive power using of AC source, those AC source is nothing but either you have to use the capacitor bank or reactive bank. With the help of capacitor or reactive bank we have to generate the reactive power. That reactive power which, if you generate the more reactive power, that reactive power which affect the load, that is the disturbance or oscillation produces by the load. So between the source and load there is the exchange of power between the source to the load and load to the source. So if you, then reactive power does not travel very fast to necessary to produce the location where it is needed. That is nothing but a supplier bar source which close to the location, if needed is better, then provide the reactive power. So this is the pictorial diagram which are used for generation of reactive power. So here there are the two blocks, one is the source and one more is load. So by using of this source and load circuit diagram, we have to write the power equation. Power is given by V into I. So V is Vm sin omega t, I is Im sin of omega t minus pi. That minus pi indicates that is a lagging of the power from the load. If the load is inductive, then the power is lagging in nature. Then you have to write the RMS values, that is the RMS equations for the this voltage and current. Irms is equal to Im by root 2 and Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2, or else by just rearranging the equations, that is the denominator term 2 can be rewrite as root 2 into root 2. So we'll get Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2 into cos pi minus cos 2 omega t plus sin pi. Therefore Vi cos pi 1 minus cos 2 omega t plus Vi sin pi sin of 2 omega t. So by just apply the equations or rearrange the equations. So from this equation to this equations you have to apply the trigonometric relations. So then you have to get to generation of reactive power. That reactive power is depending on the load. If your energy interchange takes place between the source and load, then we can call it as there is a generation of reactive power in the system. That reactive power which is represented by VAR, that is the unit of reactive power is VAR. So to calculate the total power, that is given by P plus JQ, that is equal to VI conjugates. So how to generate, the next concept is we have to discuss here production and absorption of reactive power. How to produce the reactive power and how it will absorb the reactive power. So production means we have to use the synchronous generator to produce the reactive power in the system, and the generations also it is depending upon the use of power system component. We can observe or generate the reactive power depending upon excitation of generator. If we increase the generator excitation, we can generate the more reactive power in the system. That reactive power will be withdrawn from the load. If there is exchange of power between the load and the source, or the source to generator to load, then there is exist an exchange of reactive power. That synchronous generator will operate under the three different conditions, that is over excitation, under excitation and normally excitation. During normal excitation of the system, the terminal voltage is equal to supply voltage. During over excitation, the supply terminal voltage is greater than the supply voltage, then we can call it as over excitation. During the over excitations, it will be absorbs the reactive power. So during the normal under excitations, it produce the reactive power to the system, that will be shown in the figure, that is generator reactance, and we have to use this reactance, that is voltage. So that is the diagram which is represent the excitation of generators, over excitation and under excitation with respect to the voltage. So then we have to generation and absorption of reactive power. The second element is overhead lens. So with the help of surge impedance, we have to consider the surge impedance loading. That is, depending upon the value of L and C, you have to get the impedance of loading. If the impedance of loading is more, the total surge impedance loading is decreases. That is, the ZC stands for surge impedance of an system, which is given by the equation. Then generation and absorption of reactive power by one more element, that is underground cable. So with the help of underground cable, you have to generate or else absorb the reactive power. If the value of underground cable capacitance is high, then it is used for high natural load. If your capacitance is more, then surge impedance loading is more, then it will generate and reactive power. So with the help of transformer, you have to absorb the reactive power with respect of their load. If you are more load, then it will absorb the reactive power. So if you are connecting the higher load to the transformers, at that time you have to generate the reactive power. Then load. So load is normally absorb the reactive power. So during lagging load, it causes the voltage drop. Then the next concept is to discuss here method of voltage control. There are the different methods to control the voltage level in the power systems. That is nothing but the first is line reactance, shunt reactor and capacitors, synchronous condensers, regulating transformers, and also the power electronics devices. So in the line reactance compensators, we have to use a series capacitor which is used for the compensation of network. Then we have to use the shunt reactor and capacitors, which is act as a sinks and source for reactive power generation. Synchronous condenser, which can act as a source or sinks for the reactive power. So that condenser, which is used as a reactive power generating elements. And regulating transformers. So in that regulating transformer, if you are changing the transformer tab, then it will be absorb the reactive power. That is generation of reactive power depending upon the voltage parameters. These are all the methods, and this is the pictorial diagram of generation of series reactance. This is the reactance equivalent diagram for the reactance, and this is one more diagram for absorption of reactive power. So the circuit diagram which shows generation of reactive power. So there is the different case, series compensator and shunt compensation network, as well as the capacitor banks. So for line reactance, we have to use the series capacitor. For a shunt reactor and capacitors, which is the source and sink, that will be shown in this figure. So this figure, this is the source and this is the load. We have to generate the reactive power. The total power is consists of P plus JQ. So this is the vector diagram for representation of change in reactive power with respect to the voltage. So here you have to draw the vector diagram. So let us consider the voltage as reference. This, if you consider the lagging load, the current lags the voltage by at an angle pi. So that is pi. Then the excitation voltage, which is leading in nature, that is which is represented by angle delta. Clear? Delta is represent excitation angle for the system. Here we have to consider the two vector element. One is the change in reactive power, that is delta VQ, change in reactive voltage delta VQ, and change in real power delta VP. That delta VP, which consists of the voltage drop, that is the reactance drop I into X, and delta VQ, which is consists of total reactance drop between the points C to D. So based on this vector diagram and this diagram, you have to derive the equation for general expression for absorption and production of reactive power with respect to the voltage parameter. So how to derive that expression with the help of this block diagram? So first we have to consider the from the phasor diagram, we know that. So E square means E square equal to OA plus AB plus BC. OA plus AB plus BC. OA, this is the O, A plus AB plus BC. Consider the total distance, that is apply the Pythagoras theorems. So this whole term is considered as the A, this is B, that is the total distance which is covered by the this triangular. Apply the Pythagoras theorem and you have to write these equations, where OA is nothing but V, AB is equal to IR cos pi, and BC is equal to I into X sin pi. So the distance, the DC is equal to dE minus E, that is nothing but Ix cos pi minus Ir sin pi. So therefore E square is equal to, substitute the value of OA, AB, BC. So we will get V plus IR cos pi plus I into X sin pi whole square plus DC. DC is nothing but we have to use that BC dE minus EB. From the vector diagram you have to write the all this equation. This is the main vector diagram which can use for writing of expression. Clear? So then you will get P is equal to Vi cos pi is nothing but real power and Vi sin pi is nothing but reactive power. From this equation just rearrange the term I cos pi, and from this equation you have to rewrite the equation for I sin pi. So P by V, so that is the real power divided by voltage, and Q by V is nothing but reactive power divided by voltage. Substitute these I cos pi and I sin pi in the above equations. Just rearranging of equations, we will get the equations. E square equal to, then RHS term V is as keep as it is. In place of IR sin pi or I sin pi, we have to use Q by V, IQ by V, that is P by V into R, then Ix sin pi. So you have to, in place of I into sin pi, you have to use X cube by V whole square plus this term. So then V plus this whole term can be replaced as delta Vp. Can we write this delta Vp? Rp by V plus X cube by V. So then you can consider as delta Vp. Then this whole term can be replaced as, with respect to reactive power, delta Vq whole square. So where delta Vp is nothing but Rp plus X cube by V, and delta Vq is nothing but Xp minus Rq by V. That is the equation. So therefore we will get the final equations like this: E square equal to R E minus V. So therefore if I neglect the resistance in these equations, neglect the resistance, so we will get this desired equation. So to find the total short circuit condition of complex power, we know that the complex power equation which is given by V into I conjugate. So that I conjugate term which is replaced by short circuit current. So therefore I is equal to V by R. We can use V square by ZC conjugate. So that will be written here. So then you have to write short circuit. If you are neglect the resistance, you can get the equation V square by X square. So from the equations, you have to rearrange of equation 8.10. That is nothing but this equation. If you rearrange this equation, E minus V equal to X cube by V square. So by rearranging this equation in terms of V, so we will get this equations. So then you have to plot the graph for generation and absorption of reactive power. This is the point E. That is the voltage. Draw the slope line. If there is a difference of voltage with respect to E and with respect to Q naught, that is nothing but generation of reactive power with respect to V, and absorption of reactive power with respect to V, that is a voltage. If there is a difference of change in voltage which is represented as delta V, that which is indicated in the graph. So let us discuss one problem on the same equations. This is one of the examination problem which is appear in question paper. Consider a single phase 220 kV line of length 200 km. The resistance is in kilometer is 0.031 ohm and reactance per kilometer is 0.32 ohm. Compute the sending end voltage with accurate and approximate formula if the load is 500 megawatt at 0.85 power factor. So choose the base MVA. So if base MVA is not given, that is understood it is 100 MVA base. Then you have to convert all the values into base MVA, that is per unit. To convert the real value to per units divided by base MVA. 500 by 100 we will get 5. Then power factor is given 0.85, pi is equal to cos inverse of 0.85, we will get 31.79. Then you have to find the reactive power. Q is equal to Vi sin pi. V is known, I is known, you have to substitute the values. Then you have to find the base impedance. To calculation of base impedance, we know that the basic equations kV square divided by MVA base. So kV square, that is given 220 square. So this is the kV value, 220 square divided by MVA base 100. That is we will get 485 ohm. If the length is 200 kilometer, so then you have to find the value of R, X and B. V equal to 220 kV. So for conversion of voltage in terms of per unit, select the base is 220 kilovolt. 220 by 220, it's 1 V. Then 0.32 is reactance per kilometer. Per kilometer converted into ohm per units per kilometers. 0.031 resistance is 0.031 ohm per kilometer. So multiply with per kilometer value, we will get the ohm. So reactance R is in ohm and X is in also ohm. Converted into per unit means multiplied with an base of corresponding value, base MVA. So that is 6.2 into 484. So we know that 6.2 into 484 will get the base values here. Similarly we'll get 0.32 64 into 484, so we'll get 0.1322 or else divided by base value. So sorry, 6.2 divided by 484, 6.2 divided by 484, then 64 divided by 484. So we get the, then we know that to calculation of excitation can use the formula E square is equal to 2. Okay, substitute all the values, you will get the equations. So this is the values. Then if we are neglecting the resistance for the same equation, what is the E? That is the excitation voltage, that in terms of E. To find the error with resistance and neglecting resistance, substitute the values. That is, this 1.6 is with the resistance, what is the excitation? 1.55. Without resistance, what is the value? Divided by 1.6. So we will get the approximate. Then you have to use this formula to find the errors. Similar type, next problem. A 3-phase 11 kV bus of a load drawing 2 plus J1 MVA, that is the power in terms of MVA. The 11 kV bus is supplied from an radial line. The total system reactance is 0.5 ohm per phase. Calculate receiving end current, regulation, sending end voltage, short circuit, capacity of system. Assume system is lossless. So we know that power equation P is equal to VI cos pi. Choose the base of 11 kV at 1 MVA. So then you will get, if you are choosing the base MVA, P equal to 2 PU and Q is equal to 1 per unit. So it is on base MVA is this is 2 plus J1, 2 plus J1 divided by 2 plus J1, that is, this is the 2 plus J1 divided by 1. So choose base MVA is 1. So 1 divided by, anything divided by 1 means you will get the same values. So to find the pi is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2. Tan inverse of 1 by 2, how to get this means the total power in terms of R plus Jx, to calculate the theta, tan inverse of y by x. So then you have to get the cos pi equal to, then x equal to some values. To find the current, that is the load current, the receiving end current is okay. To find the receiving end current, IL is equal to V by R. So V is or else IL is equal to, we know that power equation P is equal to VI cos pi. To find the I is equal to P divided by V cos pi. V is 1 PU, cos pi is known. You have to substitute the values, you will get the result. So then you have to find the current in the base MVA. So current is given by MVA base divided by root 3 VLB. So substitute the values, you will get the corresponding current. So then you have to find the values in the next slide. That is the cos pi is known, and you will get the same equation you have to use and find the excitation EMF. So that is in terms of kilovolt. So this is the reactive power equations which are used for finding the corresponding parameters. Okay. Now discuss with the next problem. Consider the transmission system as shown in figure. This is one of examination problem. The PO values are referred to the respective voltage base and the 100 MVA base. Determine the power supplied by the generator and its power factor. So then we consider the different points, operating point here. Okay. the reactance from C to E. C to E. So from C to E, that is 0.15 plus zero point 0.1 divided by 2. Okay, so we get some of these. From reactance from A to C, A to C is this zero point 0.1 plus zero point 0.04 divided by 2. We get 0.07 per units. Then we have to determine the power supplied by generator. This is generator point, and this is the load. At this load point, you have to find the values of receiving end bus E. Power is given 100 megawatt. If you are converted into per unit divided by 100, 100 by 100, 1 PV. 100 divided by 100, you get 1 per unit. Then reactive power is 0. If it is unity power factor UPF, then reactive power is 0. Then you have to find the current. Current is equal to P square plus Q square by B square. Substitute the values, you will get the current. Then reactive power losses from C to E. C to E, look at the figure. C to E. This is the track to find the C to E reactive power. That is I square X. We will get the. At bus C, we add the load power and losses in the line C to E. Since R equal to 0. So there are the two cases. If your resistance is added to the circuit, what is the losses and what is excitation voltage? If resistance is neglected in the real power part, what is the excitation? At that point C, therefore, at this junction, you have to find the values of corresponding reactive power. So we get P is equal to 1 plus 1 P. Adding one more values, that is 1 per unit, C equal to 1 plus J 0.5. As if the load is 1 plus J 0.75. 1 plus 0.75, that is 0.8 megawatt. Okay. So we'll get those values. Then reactive power is 0.75 plus 0.125. 0.125 is already known, already calculated in this reactive power. Then 0.75 already, that is load power. Find the Q. Then losses in the line A to C. So that is P square plus Q square divided by V square into 0.07. So we'll get this equation. So let us discuss with one more derivation, that is sensitivity of voltage to change in real and reactive power, that is P and Q. So previously I have to derive the equation, that is general absorption of voltage and reactive power. But here we are to discussing the change in real and reactive power with respect to voltage. We know that the general equation, that is V equal to F of voltage is a function of real and reactive power. So then differentiate this dV, dou V by dou P into dP plus dou V by dou Q into dT, where this dou P by dou V into dou V by dou P equal to 1, and similarly reactive power is also equal to 1. Therefore dV is equal to dP divided by dou P by dou V. Just rearrange this equation 1, you will get equation 2. So then from equation we know that change in voltage which is given by base voltage minus V. This is the standard equation which are used. So then you have to write the equation from equation 8.9. 8.9 where it is, this is 8.9. From the previously discussed equations, this is 8.9. That is E minus V equal to delta Vp. E minus V equal to delta Vp. So here E minus Vp is equal to delta Vp. So E minus Vp is equal to delta Vp. So using that equation, you have to write this equation. Here E is the sending end voltage and V is the receiving end voltage from equation 8.21. So that is change in real power and change in reactive power with the help of that equation 8.21, where it is 8.21. This is 8.19. So 21 can use this. Okay. So this is the values E minus 2V by R and E minus 2V by X. With respect to real power, we have to write the resistance. With respect to reactive power, we have to write the X. Therefore, this equation becomes revised equation. Then you will get the final equation like this. From the above equation, you have to discuss that when the line reactance is smaller, there will be a small voltage drop which is occurs. The impedance of this line is more due to the voltage drop, and at full load the reactive power will be more. Hence you will get the corresponding equations. So let us discuss with one more problem. Three generating stations are connected in common bus bar X. For particular system load, the line voltage at the bus bar falls to 2 kV. Calculate the reactive power injection required to bring back the voltage to the original value. All per unit values are 500 MVA base. This is one more examination problem which is appeared in the question paper. Okay, there are the three nodes: node A, node C, and node B. Each node or each bus having the different voltage level: 275 kV for node A, 132 kV for node C, and 275 kV for node B. So the base value of Z in 132 kV. So then we will get base impedance ZB equal to kVA base whole square divided by MVA. kV whole square divided by MVA base. So we'll get the values will be this. Then the line reactance 50 divided by 50. Line reactance is 50. J50, J50, J50 divided by base. So we get the line reactance in per unit. Then the equivalent circuit diagram. That is the source is 1 pu, impedance, line reactance, this is impedance, line impedance. There are the three lines. This is line 1, line 2, line 3, and here the transformer is connected, and this first line having the impedance 0.1 pu, and this is the line reactance. For line X to say there is no additional reactance is connected, there is no transformer is connected, then transformer reactance is 0. Between the line X to B, transformer reactance and line reactance is connected. So this is the block diagram. This is the final values. From this reactance X to N, X to N, you have to use the parallel reactance are in parallel. You have to use that equation and find the value of X equivalent. Then the short circuit current I is equal to V by R, R V by X. V is nothing but E, that is 1 ohm per unit, and X is X equivalent, that is we will get 0.5 pu. So we get 2 pu. So then find the value of base current. So this is the base current formula. IB is equal to P divided by root 3 V cos pi. So based on that you have to calculate the current. Then short circuit current is multiplied with the base current, we will get the short circuit current. Then to find the total reactance, which is given by dou Q by dou V is equal to root 3 ISC. Root 3 into ISC is 4373. So therefore we will get in terms of MVAR 7.5 MVAR. So cost of saving means we will get using the diminished method, or one of the technique that you use to find the cost of savings of reactive power. You can use these formulas. Then let us discuss with the next concept, that is method of voltage control by reactive power injections. What are all the different methods while injecting the reactive power? There are the two different methods: capacitors, series capacitor, shunt capacitor, synchronous condenser. First we shall discuss the first method of voltage control. How to control the voltage by injecting the reactive power? There are the three different methods which are discussed here. The first method is shunt reactor. So this is the circuit diagram which is shown in figure. Shunt reactors, that is connect an capacitor in shunt or in parallel with the reactors. So in the transmission system you have to connect it like this. So then shunt capacitors. So this is the reactor, this is the capacitor banks. How to connect the shunt capacitor? This is the weak system, this is strong system. This is the source and this is the load, or else you can write this is the generating point and this is the load point. Okay, here you have to connect the one of the reactor, one more reactor and one more reactor, RP is permanent reactance resistance, and R1 R2 depending upon switching operation. So this is the power factor correction. Okay. Plant, motor capacitor individual level. This is the transformer, this is the motor, this is motor, and this is group level switches. Then the next case is series capacitor. A series capacitor are connected in series with a line conductor to compensate the inductive reactance of the line conductor to compensate the inductive reactance. The main use of series capacitor is reduce the transmission line reactances. That's why you have to connect the capacitor in series with the transmission line. In general, the power equation which is given by V1 V2 cos delta 1 minus delta 2 divided by x12. V1 is the source voltage, V2 is the load voltage. Sine of angle, that is the standard formula between the difference of angle between source to load. So with the help of series capacitor, it will be reduces the voltage drop, it will be limits the load voltage, it will be control the amount of power flow between and parallel lines, and you have to maintain the stable state or steady state condition in the system. If you are maintain the stability of system, we can easily transfer the power from load source to load. Okay, these are all the main advantages which is for connection of series capacitor in an transmission line. So this is the line with series capacitor. This is the vector diagram which shows series capacitor which are connected in the line. This capacitor which limits the current flow through the transmission system, and the main use is if you connect the capacitor in a series with a transmission line, it reduces the total reactance of transmission system. If reduces the reactance means the total power will be decreases, or we can control the power flow. That is the main objectives. Okay. These are all the some of important highlighting points which comes under the connecting series capacitor with the transmission system. So the next third more parameter or third more method which are used to control the voltage by injecting the reactive power, that is synchronous condenser. So in that synchronous condenser, if you are using the condensating depending upon the excitation field current on synchronous machine, if IF is less than IF naught, we can call it as under excitation. During under excitation, the current will flow from source to load. During that time, it generate and reactive power. Then we can, in that case, we can call it as a lagging current. If IF is greater than IF naught, field current is greater than excitation field current. That is, the excitation field current is greater than IF naught. That is nothing but, if it is over excitation, it is nothing but leading power factor or leading current. So with the voltage regulator, the excitation can be adjusted and you have to change in reactive power which can be maintained. If you have changes in reactive power, you have to maintain the constant voltage. Use of synchronous condenser, you have to maintain the constant voltage in the system. Due to this constant voltage, you have to inject and reactive power to the source load side. That is the main function of synchronous condensers. So then we have to discuss this different transformers, OLTC transformers, which are used to control the corresponding parameters. So HV winding and LV winding. So different tapping points. Use the different tapping points. You have to change the tap position and control the voltage level with the help of oil on-load tap changing transformers. OLTC means on-load tap changing transformers. So based on the load, during the loading condition also we need to change the position of the tap of transformers. If you control the voltage means you have to change the tap level. That is the brief discussion of OLTC to control the voltage level in the during reactive power injections. This is the Tap changing transformers equivalent circuit. To find the voltage changes with the help of tap changing transformers. Source side current is Is, voltage in the primary side which is V1, and the transformer ratio, that is 1 is to Ts. Ts is nothing but secondary side terminal ratio, and connect the line and connect one more transformer, that is in the Tr. So secondary side and Tr is the ratio transformer, Tr is to 1. Then you have to connect the load sides. So source side transformer and load side transformer, source side is Ts and load side is Tr. So in the source side you have to connect the tap position is 1, means in the load side is also connect the same tapping position, because here the winding is equal ideal windings or else ideal transformer which are used to analyze the complete operation. That is nothing but number of turns in primary winding is equal to number of turns in the secondary windings. The ratio of transformers which is considered is 1 is to Ts and Tr is to 1. Let us discuss one more problem on the tap changing transformers. 11 kV generator supplies. This is also one of the question paper problem. Load of 100 megawatt at 0.92 lagging. It is connected to the load through 11 bar 132 kV transformer. A transmission line is at 132 kV with an impedance of 20 plus J60 ohm and step-down transformer of 11 bar 132 kV. Both the transformers are equipped with taps so that TSTR is equal to 1. Determine tap setting if we need to maintain a receiving end voltage is 11 kV. Let us choose the base of 100 kilovolt and 100 MVA base, 11 kV volt and 100 MVA base. So V1 is equal to V2. Both the system having the voltage is 11 kV. If you are converted into per unit, divided by 11 kV. Then load is 100 megawatt at 0.92 lagging. So 0.92 lagging means we have to consider the power factor. So find the reactive power Vi sin pi. Vi cos pi is 100 megawatt load plus J 42.6. How to get that 42.6 means Vi sin pi, sin of 0.92 into Vi. P is known, I is known. Have to calculate the values. So that is we'll get 42.6 MVA. Here then divided by 100. This divided by base MVA 100. So we'll get this values. Then conversion of base impedance. KV base whole square divided by MVA base. KV base is 132. Secondary voltage of transformer or load is considered as voltage, that is 132. Then load impedance is given by 20 plus J60. 20 plus J60, that is the load impedance value. Then substitute, we know that the equation I square minus Ts square into 1 into 1 based on the tap changing transformer equation. This is the equation we are using. V1 V2 Ts square, V1 V2 Ts square, yes, plus minus V2 square equal to minus Rp plus xq into Ts square, Rp plus xq into Ts square. So just rearrange this equation. Okay. Then you will get this equation. Then you have to solve it to find the value of Ts and Tr. Then the last concept in the voltage and reactive power control, that is PV curve and voltage collapse. If the resistive load, if load is if raised to load is considered, the relationship is considered I by S is equal to 1 by root of 1 plus R by X whole square. P by P max is equal to rearrange the standard equation. We will get the corresponding equation. R by X is as it is 1.5 into 1 plus R by X whole square. This 0.5 P by P max, which is replaced by an voltage, so V by V. Okay. So then we have to obtain the expression, voltage collapse equation. This is V square sin delta plus cos delta. Okay. Real power, we know that this is the standard equation. then real power is in general V sin delta. Reactive power, so reactive power is Q, EV cos delta by X minus V by V square by X. Normalized value V cos delta minus V square. So then using trigonometric relation, A square is equal to B square plus C square. A square V square, this is V cos square delta plus V square sin delta to get, that is nothing but here you have to substitute, multiply this inside the bracket. This is the required equation. Okay, then we know that P is equal to root of V square minus V square cos square delta. Then V square cos square delta, which is nothing but the value of P. Then we will get the corresponding equations. So this is the final equation you are getting here. Then you have to write this characteristics curve. So the characteristics curve, that is nothing but voltage collapse. If you are increasing the value of PV by X, then the voltage will, ratio of voltage V by E also increases. For different phasor angle or different angle, the V curve, that is real power versus reactive power, PV means real power with respect to voltage, PV curve, which is shown in the graph. So this is based on that PV curve. We have to discuss one problem. 11 kV supply, the bus bar connected to 11 bar 132 kilovolt 100 MVA 10% reactance transformer. A transformer feeds 132 kilovolt link consisting of overhead lines of impedance 0.014 plus j.4 p and a cable of impedance 0.03 plus j.1 p is in parallel. The receiving end voltage is to be maintained at 132 kV. 1. Deliver 80 megawatt at 0.9 power factor lag. Calculate real and reactive power carried by the line and cable if the PU values are 100 MVA and 132 kV base. So this is the circuit diagram. So we have to write as per the given problem statement. 11 bar 132 kV, 11 bar 132 kV, and overhead line of impedance 0.014 plus j.4 and cable impedance, this is cable impedance, and receiving end voltage is 132 kV, which is connected with 80 megawatt at 0.9 power factor load. Okay. First we have to find the real power, that is the power as PR plus JQR. PR plus JQR. QR can be rewrite as an angle PR tan pi r. How to write that PR tan pi r means? So look at this equation. QR can be replaced by PR tan pi r. PR tan pi r means we know that S is equal to P plus JQ. If we are finding the tan theta is equal to P by Q. Is it right? Theta is equal to tan inverse of P by Q. So that is Q is equal to P into tan pi. So substitute the values, we will get the equation. Then same receiving end power PR plus J PR into tan pi r. Substitute the values, we will get the corresponding parameter. So if VR is equal to 1 PU, then pi r is equal to cos inverse of 0.9, that is 25.84. Then IR is equal to S by VR. So we will get the equation. Then IR equal to corresponding formulas. Then find the line reactance. So we will get the equations. So just refer the Umarov textbook, you will get all the values calculation part. It's very simple. So there is no need to explain more. Okay. So this is one more problem we have to discuss here. So similar type. Okay. Here no need to using any alternate equations. Just we have to use the power equations, that is complex conjugate power means VI conjugate always, or else one more term is S is equal to P plus JQ.